Hey folks, Sean Wiedas here with Wiedas Marine, and I'm bringing to you the latest creation of fiberglass out of Kilgore, Texas. We're checking out a 2018 Skeeter FX 21 limited edition, but what's really we want to highlight here is check out the digital package, folks. We got a little bit of digital camo in the badge here. Check out the digital camo on the seats. This is a really cool color scheme boat, really sick looking gray gel on it. Standard for 2018, we got these black 18-inch Turismo wheels. We've got a new Skeeter built trailer. The trailers this year, folks, that are built in Kilgore, Texas. For long-time boat owners, this is going to be a better solution for parts, for warranty. The manufacturer owning the trailer company now, I think it's going to be a big deal. But I want to show you some of the features, the key features of a Skeeter that make a Skeeter what it is. And one of the first things are these sponsons on the back. Maybe you're watching one of my videos for the first time, but if you're not, what these sponsons do is they do three things. They add buoyancy in the heaviest part of the boat. You got your power poles, you got your batteries, you've got your 250 show, you've got all the weight in the back of this boat, and these sponsons are going to keep that boat floating shallow. They're going to add stability. You put a big co-angler on the back deck, romping and stomping, shaking back and forth. Well, these sponsons help stabilize that. The other thing is they are a foil. When you go to get on plane, water travels along this edge. It hits right here. It pops the back of that boat up, and that's why Skeeter's got one of the fastest hole shots in the business, okay? So a lot of technology here with the sponsons. Of course, the obvious thing that's advertised for is to keep the backwash off the back deck. And some of the modern boats still have backwash issues. Skeeter is absolutely one of the best in that regards. They do not have backwash issues whatsoever. One of the other key features of a Skeeter is the building principle of constant curvature. If you look at a Skeeter from the top cap, from the time the top cap hits, all the way down around to the hull, we have constant curvature here. And if you look and sight down the rub rail from the front, and you go all the way up there to the front, you'll see you've got a state of constant curvature. Why is that so important? Well, we think about one of the basic architectural principles, which is an arch, okay, which is a bridge, all right? The reason arch is so important is, let's take this business card, okay? This business card is flat, all right? Its business card's flat, it bends really easy. There's not much strength, there's not much rigidity there, okay? But if we put a simple arch in that, now look at all the strength that we have, okay? So by having the constant curvature design in a Skeeter, it's why when you do a test, you can walk up to the side of the boat, you put your knee into the side of the boat, you push on the fiberglass, and you'll get no flex at all on a Skeeter. The boat's built tough, but it's also engineered tough, and that's very important. We got the latest, the big screen Lowrances here. Wiedas Marine, one thing I want to remind you of is this is how the boat comes standard from the factory, but if you want some hummingbirds, you want something custom, or you want one of our precision sonar or bass boat technology mounts installed, dual mounts, any of that stuff, at Wiedas Marine, we're not Burger King, but you can get it your way. We'll do what it takes to customize the boat to suit you. Aircraft carrier deck on a Skeeter, nothing ever changes there. Hee-haw won't have nothing on you. You can do a square dance up on this, and I'll tell you, I fell in love with Skeeter's low gunnels. If you're a flipper, you're a pitcher, you know, you're spending most of your time up here on the nose of this boat, this thin little gunnel right here, man, it puts you in an aggressive stance. You'll never smack one of those gunnels when you're roll casting or you're flipping that 1.5 ounce tungsten. It's really cool. We outfitted this one new for an option from the factory. You have an optional Ultrex. I ran an Ultrex last year, folks. An awesome trolling motor, spot lock. Anytime you're fishing offshore structure, it really is going to improve your catch ratios, because you can just press that spot lock. You know, you get on the juice, you're on the sweet spot. You don't have to fight your trolling motor, your culling fish or whatever. Awesome feature. You're going to see that on a lot of our FXs that we're ordering this year. Some of the new look of the trailer up here. We've got the steps to help get you in. We eliminated the toolbox. We got just a simpler step pad bad design right here, but that's a really cool new trailer feature. Okay, so now that we've kind of looked at some of the outside, some of the bling, let's look at some of the actual function, okay? One of the things about the Skeeter you'll see this big gull wing hull, all right? And I look at a lot of boat hulls, and if you know, I can see a lot of the subtle differences. But what you have is you have a deep V, which most all bass boats have, and that deep V cuts the water. Well, once you cut the water, you have to do something to absorb the energy from that. When it cuts it, it splits it. Well, that gull wing absorbs that energy and that diverts it, disperses it, so that instead of feeling it in the old L5 S1, okay, the hull's going to absorb that energy, and that's why Skeeter has one of the driest, smoothest rides on the water. And from a guy that's spent 20 plus years in them, I will vouch for it. This is one of the best riding, smoothest riding boats on the market today. One of the things doesn't get talked about a whole lot in bass boats. You know, we talk about decks, we talk about ride, we talk about, you know, storage boxes, worm containers. One thing that doesn't get talked about a lot is the seats. Well, I'll tell you, if you're a tournament fisherman, and you spend a lot of time behind the seat, whether it be graphing or for most of us running rough water, the seating of a boat's very important. One of the things I want you to see right away in a Skeeter is in a Skeeter you sit up a little higher than normal. This is very important for a couple reasons. Sitting up high in a boat gives me a clear field of vision. If I'm navigating rough water, big waves, I got my bow way up in the air, okay? It gives me a very clear view of what I'm running, the waves that I'm reading the water. If I'm navigating a stump field, if I'm running some sketchy, little shallow, trying to get into some little sneak hole somewhere or something, I like to be up high where I can see what's going on, and the Skeeter definitely has one of the higher seatings in a boat. They design these seats to where the ergonomics, you can push your lower spine all the way into the back of the seat, and your thighs are the same distance as your waist. Why is that important? Well, I have a good friend that's a chiropractor that talked about this one time. If you keep your thighs at the same level as your knees, you're going to take all the pressure off your lumbar spine. Very important for a comfortable long ride on the water and many years of pain-free fishing. So if we open up the center tackle compartment here, before we touch on that, I want to talk about a couple other cool things about a Skeeter. See this foam on the underside of the lid? This foam is rarely talked about, but I'll tell you, this foam is a big deal. It keeps condensation from forming in your compartments, but something no one ever talks about is the element of stealth. I'm a shallow water fisherman. I spend a lot of time in 2 or 3 foot of water, and when you're slamming lids and when you're walking around on it, this foam makes a big difference in insulating the noise. And I'm a true believer in, you know, getting close to bass, not disturbing them. It's a little bit of element of stealth that you have by putting this foam underneath there. One of the other things that this exposes, you can see Skeeter's aluminum deck grid system, okay? You've got this little metal lip. Well, this metal lip pokes into this foam, makes a very tight seal with the compression latches. You don't have to worry about getting any water in your compartments. So now that we're inside the compartment, you know, you've got a really cool setup here. And I want to point out a couple things. You know, you can see here the plano boxes that are in here at an angle. Well, if you actually take out these fins, you'll actually be able to fit more plano boxes in there. Close this. My day box, man, I'll tell you what, this thing, I've always said if you're fishing right, you should only be fishing out of your day box. You take this in the hotel room, your scumpernog worm, okay, your sexy shad crankbaits, all your standard stuff that you know you're gonna go to in the tournament day. It's right there, your fingertips. Once again, we got good gas shocks, compression latches. This is a slam latch. We just, you know, slam it shut. Over here, we got a fully functioning starboard side rod locker, okay, fiberglass compartment, no carpet in here, so there's no way we're gonna get any kind of mildew or anything. Of course, Skeeter's got an air blower system, so we've actually got an air recirculate system in this boat that's gonna generate oxygen, blow it around inside here, and if you're in a humid environment, keep everything nice and dry. But there's your starboard side rod locker. Your conventional port side rod locker is just a mirrored version of that. And one thing I want to point out is, if you can see, I'll move the owner's packet out of the way, is see underneath here, I can actually put rods underneath the tubes. So you can jam, I mean, honestly, you can almost get 25 rods in here easily. Folks, Folks, thanks for taking some time to watch our video on this awesome 2018 Skeeter FX 21 in the digital color package. We really appreciate you taking time. Folks, I want to remind you, Wiedas Marine has one of the largest selections of Skeeter and other bass boats in the United States. All right, we offer nationwide delivery. We can hook up to this boat, do everything over the phone, drop it off in your front porch, come in, eat some of your grandmother's cookies, or if you'd rather us just to leave, we'll just drop the boat off and we'll scat. But on a serious note, trade-ins, we love trade-ins. We always are trying to build our used boat inventory. So if you've got a trade-in, you're thinking, you know, I'll never get what it's worth, give us a shot and see what we can work out. Financing is never a problem at Wiedas Marine, and to get a hold of us, you look no further than to call the number on the sign behind me. Give us a shout there at 859-647-2628. That's BOAT. Wiedas Marine is your home for Skeeter boats.